Good morning. Today we're at Rockwoods Reservation. We're currently on the Turkey Ridge Trail. It's a 2-mile trail in a balloon configuration. It's just on the east side of Highway 109 and parallels the highway, so we do have quite a bit of road noise on this trail. After we complete this trail, we'll go to the other side of Highway 109 where the majority of the park lies and do the Lime Kiln Trail. It'll be much more quiet on that side of the highway, but it's quite pretty here. This is a beautiful morning. Last week we set a record here in the St. Louis area for 6 days in a row with heat indexes over 110. Here we are at the end of August, and it's currently in the mid to high 60s. Still very high humidity, but the temperature is fantastic, and I'll take it. Great day to be out for a hike. Let's get going. Rockwoods has an interesting history. This area was homesteaded in the early 1800s, then it was logged completely bare in the late 1800s. The logging was followed by extensive limestone quarrying, which ended in the 1930s. Steam trains hauled limestone along a narrow gauge rail spur, which connected the mines to the main rail in Glencoe. In its heyday, there was a small town with a school, a general store, a post office, housing for the miners and their families, and an orchard. Mining ended in 1938 when the Glencoe Mining Company went belly up and the land was purchased by the Missouri Department of Conservation. At that time, this entire area resembled the surface of the moon. It's amazing how nature can recover in a short 85 years. I'm still surprised by how much humidity affects comfort. We're currently at only 69 degrees, but at 84% humidity, and I'm drenched in sweat with really a minor level of exertion out here on this trail. Let's bring that down to 40% humidity or less. That's comfortable. So this time of year, when I'm hiking, I generally do a tick check every half hour or so. But towards the end of summer, I have so many scabs from tick and chigger bites, it makes it a real challenge. It's kind of more of a guessing game than anything else. So black bears have returned to Missouri in sufficient numbers to actually create a hunting season. Last year was the first year for that. And in the Rockwoods Reservation area, these bears have been seen. While I'd love to see one today on my hike, I know the odds are very low, but I'm hoping. Well, we're nearing the end of the Turkey Ridge Trail. This is really a beautiful little 2-mile hike, kind of up along a ridge line and then back down to the trailhead parking. I thought I'd be the first one here this morning, but the parking lot at the trailhead was fairly crowded and people were already coming off the trail as I was pulling in, which actually is great because somebody else cleared the spider webs this morning. Rockwoods is considered a metro area destination here in the St. Louis area, which makes it a very popular area for hikers and mountain bikers when we get to the rest of the park. This area on the eastern side is a little bit more noisy because of the road. The western half is quite a bit more quiet. We're going to do the eastern half on 2 trails today, the Turkey Ridge Trail, 2 miles, and the Limestone Kiln Trail, which has a lot of interesting history on it, which is 3.2 miles. Let's go ahead and head over to that, and then next week we'll do the trails on the western side. These benches are great. They obviously haven't been used in a long time. Well, it's a Monday morning and this trail is very crowded. I can't imagine what it's like on a weekend. So the lime kiln that we just walked by, which is right at the trailhead parking, is 40 feet tall and 20 feet square at its base. The kiln was built in 1856. And it was used to burn limestone at more than 800 degrees Fahrenheit, turning the rock into powder for mortar. The lime powder was also spread on crop fields to reduce acidity and is still used for that purpose today. Well, the hills aren't that high here. They do get steep. Well, I really enjoy walking through a beautiful open woodland. And up here on the ridge line is a pleasant breeze. This is probably the best August hike I've had in years. Boy, there would be some beautiful valley views here in the wintertime. All around, this ridgeline is a long walk, and it just looks like fantastic views as it drops off on both sides of the trail. Man, here we are at 11 o'clock at the end of August. It's only 76 degrees, and the humidity dropped to 55%. Once that breeze picked up, it just blew it all out. Definitely my favorite August weather for a hike. Oh, what a wonderful breeze. Sorry, whoever's downwind. Whew. So there's a connector trail that runs between the Lime Kiln Trail, which we're currently on, and the trail among the trees. We're on the northern side of Glencoe Road, which is the road that bisects Rockwoods into a northern and southern section. Next week we'll be back here because this is on the western side of Rockwoods, and we'll do this and combine it with a couple of other trails to cover the western section. Here's a map. We're here still at the connector trail. So this is Highway 109, the road we took to arrive here this morning. This is Woods Road. That's the trailhead parking for the Turkey Ridge Trail, which covers this section in here. So what we did earlier, then we drove over to this trailhead for the Lime Kiln Trail, which covers this section of Rockwoods. What we'll do next week is jump up to the trail through the trees, which that connector trail is somewhere up in here, and the trail through the trees is all in here. I don't remember the names of the other trails that cover this part of Rockwoods, but we'll also do those next week. I'm going to try to piece these together to do a big loop. There should be some caves. A lot of the caves are man-made, where they blasted with the dynamite to mine the limestone. And I know I can't get into those. They're fenced off, but I think we'll be able to see them from the trail. And then there is a cave called Bathtub Cave, somewhere up in here, which we'll see next week. I'm really excited to get into that one, and a little nervous too. You'll see why next week. All right, so let's carry on. We're currently headed down here towards Glencoe Road, the road that splits Rockwoods. And we'll kind of parallel that for a while. I'm looking for a large bluff or large rock that has, around here, that has a stream bubbling out from under it that's full of watercress. I'm hoping to find that. Wow, I'm 6'1". The guy that built this must have been very tall. Oh, forgot to take the pack off. That'd be a great view across the valley in the winter. Yeah, oldie. That hiker sign was from the 70s. Don't see those very often. Tell you, I love this rock, but it really makes you work for it. We're back in the bottoms, back on packed earth, which is just a little bit soft from the rain we had a couple of days ago. Glencoe Road is about 30 feet over there, which means we're close to the spring. I'm looking forward to seeing it. There's the watercress. It's really best late winter, early spring. Very peppery, great in salads. I'm sure they're probably too far away to see well, but directly in the middle of the frame are 3 deer. They were on the trail, and when they saw me, they stared at me for a while, then they got into the stream, and then they crossed the road. It's private property on the other side, that's why you see the fence there. Well, we're probably pretty close to the trailhead. What a perfect way to end a hike. We have this well-shaded, nice packed earth path, and it parallels a beautiful spring-fed stream, which I was able to filter some water from and drink. And it's nice to have some cold water on a hot August day. Well, it's not really that hot today. And that's another thing, the weather was, for the end of August, was just fantastic. So this is the end of our exploration of the eastern section of Rockwoods, and next week we'll explore the western section. I think it's going to be interesting. A little bit of different history over there, more signs of the mining from what I've read. I'm really looking forward to that. Well, thank you for taking a walk with me. I hope you enjoyed our time together, and please join me for next week's adventure. Bye-bye.